particular time frame that you think I should have. That is not the case. We all get busy and get over flooded sometimes, but best believe, I care about my people. I care about you. And I have testimonies if you need to call any of my clients to tell you that. And I can speak that with confidence and boldly because that's how I am.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
not ashamed of that.
Bold.
Okay, so now we have the pre-approval. I will not work with you if you don't have this. Because the pre-qualification, as the lender has said, is not, it's just an estimate, it's not really verified, and here I am going, showing you this house, 350, and God knows, get a contract on it, and then the lender say, no, she not qualified, this, it has wasted time. And then you definitely gonna be discouraged, because it's gonna be the house that you thought you really, really wanted. We talked about versus needs in your book. Let's see, we need to fill out some stuff. 1, 2, 3, I think we did 1. We got the answer to 1, right? And we had the interview questions for number 6.
No, they talking about page 7.
Yep, that's the one. So you should have another paper, yep, how to find the right realtor. So, you can write down, this is homework for you, your needs and your wants, so that when you go to home, search for your home, you will already know. I will already know, because you have already written it down. I write it down on my agreement, so we can get started. But if you turn to page, okay, 8. We had those questions, right? We have number 1. We have number 2. We answered number 6. And we did 5, right? Do y'all remember those answers?
Yeah.
Then tell me number 1. See?
We ain't do no negotiating, you know.
Oh, yeah, we did.
I'm sorry. Well, he said yes.
No.
Okay, what about number 2? We talked about the things to maintain a good realtor relationship.
Yeah.
We talked about that, you know that, right?
Mhm.
Communication and follow-up is the most important thing. And please, by all means, submit your documents when asked. If I ask you to please submit your document to the lender, please do so in a timely manner. Everything is of the essence. Okay, so we got number 6. When selecting a realtor, and there's 5 interview questions, right?
Mhm.
You had that. Now, okay, we got our needs and wants out the way. So we talked about the neighborhood. We talked about, so if you wanna live in a city, you wanna live in the country, you need to know that. You need to know what state, what county in the state, Prince George's County, where you wanna go, Upper Marlboro, Prince George's Upper Marlboro, do you wanna go to Bowie, Largo, do you wanna go to District Heights, Capitol Heights, where do you wanna go? Schools are very important, so if you have children, I think that would be the number 1 thing for parents, I know it was for me. Crime, please contact the local, police department if you are concerned about that. Property appreciation, I have never used that term, property appreciation, but I wanna say the value, I guess, of that market in that particular area. Excuse me. So, name one thing you should do to get a feel of the neighborhood. What should you do? Yep, that's the best way. Keep driving. You really like a particular neighborhood? It was one neighborhood I loved. When I got off of work, I shoot it down 210.
Shot.
Thank you. I shot. I ran. I sped.
You got 210 next week.
210. Woo, Jesus.
That's why 210 scary name.
It is. To a particular neighborhood, went there every single day. Love that home. Oh my God, if y'all would have saw me.
Y'all went over Camp County.
No. Mm-mm. I went out there, went to the house, walked around, didn't even know they were home, just walked around the grass, claiming my house, touching the wall. Yes, it's mine. I did all of that. Until the lady called my room to say, you know your client out here? Everything okay? So she started claiming my house. And when she told that lady, the seller, oh, she claimed, please forgive her. She's claiming she really liked the house. That's how I got the house. Yes. Yeah, see? Nugget. Stop touching on the brand. So we had different types of sales. We had the standard sales, which are the easiest, and most people love those. We had number 2, short sales, which I specialize in. That takes long. We looking at from the time we write a contract on a short sale, we already looking at 90 days out. Yes, and it can go longer depending on the complexity of the short sale. Auctions, you have to bid on that. Sometimes we have online bidding, or you can go to the property and bid if they have the auctioneer there. Most of the time now they're doing that online stuff bidding. It goes to the highest and best bidder. FSBO, as you know, is for sale by owner. REO are foreclosed homes. So foreclosure and short sales, they're different because of REO, which is a foreclosure property, or REO number 3, the bank owns that property. A short sale, the seller still owns their home. They are just delinquent in their mortgage payments and cannot get what they want. Well, sometimes they can, depending on the price of their home, but most of the time they're delinquent and they can't get the value for their home in a short sale. But short sales, people have some perception that short sales are like discounted homes, and that's not the case. It's not. Short sales mean that the owner or the bank allow the owner to sell their property for less than what it's worth, or less than what is owed on the property, not less than what it's worth, but owed. Excuse me. So now we're making an offer. We're making an offer, and like I said, our contract is more than 30 pages, depending on if we have our stuff. Depending on what's involved with the property, HO, condos. Now, an investor, they don't care about nothing. They don't care about the home inspection. They don't care about no HOA. They don't care about anything. They just want the property because they want to make some money. So sometimes an investor will send me over a contract that's been just like this. But if I represent the investor, I gotta put everything else in it. You know, they don't care. Earnest money deposit. I don't know if you all talked about earnest money deposit, but earnest money deposit at the time we write our offer, which is going to be a free offer, we're going to send it over, we have to have earnest money. Okay? Usually we ask for 1% of the offer price. You get that money back. Earnest money will be credited back to you on the statement sheet on closing docs. It will be credited back to you, either your down payment if you have to have down payment, or if you need closing cost help, it can go towards your closing costs. Now, if everything is covered, you should get that money back. But no agent is going to represent or present a contract without an earnest money deposit, because you ain't put nothing down. Yes. It's like a good faith, I want this house, so here it is saying I want this.
what if your offer was rejected and you have to start the whole looking for a house again? So you get back that earnest money, or they hold on to it until you finally get a house?
So, right, so, if your offer is rejected, I have the check. We have a cashier check, no personal checks. I have a cashier check that I'm gonna get from you, and I keep it. And it will be attached, so what it does, it goes to the other offer. Whenever we find another home, that same earnest money deposit that you have given me will be attached to the new offer on a new property. Once that offer is submitted, we now have a ratified contract, all initials and, signatures from all clients, sellers, and buyers. Then this would be turned over, the earnest money deposit would be turned over to my brokerage to put in their non-interest bearing account, which is an escrow account for all earnest money deposits. Okay, so, one of the things with the residential contract of sale, you must know, this is a legally binding contract. If not understood, seek competent legal help. I know, everyone laughs at that. Because you think that a real estate agent, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not the attorney. I wanna show you, I wanna go over this offer with you, this contract, let you know the terms of it, what's going on with it. And if you don't understand what I'm saying at that point, seek legal help. Time is of the essence. So when we put this offer in and it's accepted, the next day is our day one. We work on federal holidays, weekends, major holidays, all of that. That's our calendar day. So if your offer was accepted today, what's the day, the 2nd? March the 2nd, day one is tomorrow for us to meet all time frames without contingencies, okay? We're gonna get to that next. So our contingencies, we have our home inspection, financing, and appraisal. Conveyances are things that are in the home that you wish to have or the seller is going to leave you. We have our comps. Now comps are similar properties to the subject property. The subject property is the property that you're interested in and you have already wrote this offer on or already have this contract on, okay? So I will have to do comps. Similar properties to make sure that the price is right there. Also, we're gonna have concessions. Concessions is closing help from the seller. It's customary that the seller will give 3% closing help.
Quick question,
Yes,
on the home inspection, does it have to be done before the appraisal is necessary?
yes. And the reason why, because in the home inspection contingency, addendum is a date there. So most of the time I put 15 days for our home inspection. Sometimes with the home inspection, not sometimes, all the time when I do a home inspection, we are going to have, with termite inspection done at the same time. That's just mandatory. Now, if you choose to have mold, radon, if you choose to have, lead-based, tested, all those other, inspections done, it's gonna be extra fees, so each inspection has its own cost. Some home inspection will give a free termite inspection, but every inspection you get will have a different cost associated, and we would do it all on the same day.
I have a question then, so I know someone who didn't get that home inspection done during this contract. I'm
Yes.
just wondering how that gets handled. It is mandatory.
No, home inspection is not mandatory, the
It's not.
termite is.
No, that's what I was asking about before, you said that you have to have the home inspection before the appraisal, and what I'm saying is I know.
The reason why we had to have the home inspection before the appraisal is because of the time frame that we put in there.
Okay, what I'm saying is I know someone who bought a house without having a home inspection. I'm just wondering how that could have happened.
They didn't want it, that's why. They didn't want to have the home inspection.
So
You don't
it's-
have to have a home
That's what I'm
inspection.
asking, is it mandatory?
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's not mandatory to have a home inspection. Some people get a home inspection just for the information purposes only and won't allow the seller or ask the seller to, do any repairs or replacements if they found anything. But most people will ask. But we was in the market a couple of years ago where the home inspection was done for information purposes only, because that's when that market was up there really, really high. 2000, I wanna say 5 and 6, when I saw a lot of, homes not having home inspection only for information purposes only. Yeah,
You need a home inspection, just want you to know. You're taking a big risk if you don't get a home inspection.
yes,
Particularly on new construction. Just because it looks new don't mean it is new. So you really, really, really need, and when the home inspector comes, they'll go into what it is they do. But you should get
I
it.
That
wanna
person
say,
did have problems.
yeah,
You know
I
what
wanna
I'm
say whether it's a new construction or
Right.
resale, you need to get a home inspection because you need to find out what's going on with that property. Because if you don't know, you are setting yourself up for a world of trouble. Contract negotiation tips. We're gonna have a tight expiration date. Now, if it's a short sale, we already know, we're looking at 3 months out.
Yeah.
But most people want to close within 30 days. Depending on if you're in a program, some programs need to close within 45 days. So it all depends on the program, okay, the financial product. You have to determine the right amount of earnest money deposit. If you would, it's customary, $1,000, that's what people give, $1,000. But if you really want a home and you know that the market is high and it's a seller's market, sometimes they go up to 2 or 3, or that 1%.
Is the seller's real estate agent asking for a higher number than the 1,000, or is the seller himself asking?
The, what we call her the listing agent who represents the seller, the listing agent will, if the seller wants more than 1,000, the listing agent can put in the MLS remarks. That's the MLS is the database where all the real estate agents put their homes in, and I go in and I look at the remarks and see what they're saying, and I will see they want 2,000 or 3,000. If it's above the customary of 1,000, and if it's in there, I will let my client know. Because that will probably determine if their offer is gonna be accepted or not. The size of your down payment. So, when you speak with your lender, now, previously have already spoken with your lender should have already let you know what type of loan product you in. Already would know that, because it would say it on the letter, or your, pre-approval, it would tell me what you have. So, I know that FHA is a 3.5% down, but sometimes buyers would not know that. If they first-time home buyers don't understand the financing, product, you won't know. So I have to reinforce, and let you all know, or reiterate, to let you know, okay, 3.5% down. But your lender should have already told you that you have to put down 3.5% or whatever.
Okay, I have
Yeah.
Back to negotiation. As the real estate agent, how can you, I know you do this, but how can you assure that I'm going to get the house? The reason I'm asking is because we have the seller's market, you have all these other offers, and I know it's all about the negotiation, but, I mean, you understand what I'm asking?
I'm gonna tell you yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you because based on my experience and my expertise, when I write a contract, I'm writing a good contract. I'm writing a good contract, and the only reason why we would not get it is because either my client was, no. I have a client that did not get the house, and it was so beautiful. I'm just showing you so I can help you understand. We had the contract, people, okay? It's nothing like when I get all my contract and then everyone, it's something wrong with my client. So, but I love my client, I gotta still work and do what I gotta do, but we had the contract. She decided that she did not want to, no, money out her pocket. Right? No, she didn't wanna be cheap, she just, because it was programs available, she decided that she wanted to go with that program, but because of time frame and time constraints, we didn't have time to do that, and she knew. And so that's how we lost. We already had it.
Right, but even before the point where you feel that you already have it, you know, like you're in a negotiation, because sometimes you'll have like maybe 2 or 3 other, or even more people that are putting contracts on a house.
If I feel like there's a house that has a lot of offers on there, and I can gauge it by when I go in the house and see all these business cards, and you won't have an offer by the time I went in, and you had all them offers, you ain't getting nothing. So, I gauge it like that. But if it's a property that I know that's beautiful, a nice area, and it's hot, yes, we're gonna have to make sure I can do a higher earnest money deposit, so that they'll know that we're really serious about it. I can shorten the time frame from our home inspection contingencies, so that we won't prolong it. So anything that I can do to make a quick settlement. And I also asked the, lender to go call the listing agent. So she'll know we are all on board. It's nothing like having everybody on board and we can flow together.
Does it matter though if you're offering more money, because eventually you're gonna have to go to an appraisal, and you might not be.
So if you offer more money, that's fine, you can do that, because the determining factor is gonna be the appraisal. The appraisal, so if we offer $360 and the appraisal come, and then the price is $350, we offer $360 and the appraisal come back at $349, it's our house.
Okay, now, if you have a multitude of questions, are you gonna be here for a minute,
I won't.
Oh, you won't be here?
But I can
you know,
give
you
you
can
my card,
email it,
yes.
give me the card, and we can sidebar, you know, I'm trying to get you all to lunch real quick, I know some of y'all are hungry. You know, you can have breakfast, but, if you need a sidebar, it's a sidebar, okay?
But thank you all so much, thank you for allowing me to present. Thank you, I look